So here's the latest build, and it's a nice little outdoor bench, some outdoor seating that we've made. And I'm just going to take you through step by step how I made this. So we started with some steel box section. This is 40 by 40, 2mm thick. And unfortunately, I don't have a proper cut saw. So to cut the steel and these 45-degree angles, we used an angle grinder, and then to make sure we had the right angles, because my cutting wasn't great, we just used a disc sander, and it seemed to come out quite well. So when lining it all up with magnets, I was getting my 90 degrees on the inside, so I was pretty happy with that. So after cutting our pieces, we've cleaned up the edges that we're going to weld together, taking any surface dirt and grime and kind of rust off, and then welded together. Now, not going to zoom in too close on the welds, but for a first time welder, I'm pretty happy with most of the welds. The bench is easily strong enough to take two quite heavy people. I'm a big guy and I've jumped up and down on it, and it seems really strong. So after we've got all the pieces cut, we've welded the end squares together, and then I've just joined these two long pieces together and welded those on as well. Now we ground down the welds with a grinder or with a grinding disc, and then we've given it a prime. Now I've done 2 coats of primer. So we used CRC Primate, which is a really good primer for steel, and then followed that up with CRC Black Zinc. So between the coats, we've given the primer coat a good sand down with some emery paper, then done a second coat of primer, giving it another sand down, and then done 3 coats of the black zinc spray paint. So after we spray painted the bench, I've gone ahead and measured and cut our Jarrah. Now Jarrah is an Australian hardwood. It's a really solid timber, and it works well for what we're doing. So had to work with what I had here. In an ideal world, I would have drilled all my holes before I put the wood on. However, I wasn't quite sure of the gaps that I was going to have, and I wasn't quite sure of the wood that I had available at the time. So I kind of just flew by the seat of my pants a little bit there. And actually, I just drilled and countersunk the holes afterwards, and this actually worked really well. So what we've done, if I just flip the bench up, I'll just show you underneath. So we countersunk the screws, and they are almost flush with the edge there, and I'm really happy with that. So after the wood battens were screwed in, and I made sure to clamp them as I was screwing them so we didn't get any wiggle, we've gone ahead and oiled it with a mineral oil, and this seems to have come up really, really nice. So that was just a quick overview of how we made this bench. If you've got any other questions, just stick them in the comment section below. It's a pretty simple bench, but really happy with how it turned out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, really helps the channel. Yeah, if you're new here, subscribe. Often making crazy, interesting projects.